Hello and welcome to Just Be Handy. I just wanted to thank you viewers for hitting the 1,000 members. That helps this channel out quite a bit. So thank you for that. And then today we're going to talk about how to diagnose a bad bearing in your alternator and what may have caused this bad bearing in this alternator was the belt that I used. As you can see, look at what it looks like. And I should have known better before I used it. When I got it out of the brand new box, this Gates belt made in Mexico was stiffer than the one previous, but also it had this kink in it. And I would tension it properly, but it would just keep slipping. And so I would wait for a while and then look at it, and it still had the nice twist that I go for. You know, you want a good 90-degree twist, or yeah, you should be able to do a 90-degree twist on belt still and not have any slippage. But it did this like 3-4 times, and then next thing I know, the bearing went out on my drive home the other day. So here I'll let you listen to what that's like and what that whine is like. So let me start the car here with the remote start. And I did override the hood latch for this, but you can hear how it's got that whine. And I'll take the belt off next. I am using the old belt, but one of the things I did was take this wooden block and just put it up against the alternator, and you could hear the resonance of the you could hear the bearings going. And then I put it on the engine at different spots, and it did not do that. So at the beginning it was like, oh, that's a transmission issue, but no, it was definitely the alternator. So what I'm going to do next is take off the belt so you can see that it is the alternator. Another thing I did is I took a power steering belt and I put it between the pulley and the air conditioner and ran that no load just to see if it is the air conditioner, and it was not. So the next thing I'm going to do is loosen up the 14mm bolt here, the 12mm bolt down there, and then the other tensioner bolt, and then loosen the belt off and then run the car again for you. Alright guys, you can see here the old belt that has over 100,000 miles on it is the same make, Gates, same number. This one is made in the US, this one's made in Mexico, and look at the difference here. The one in Mexico has got that kink, this one doesn't. This one is soft, this one is stiff. So I don't know, you make up your mind about that, you know, but I don't know if you guys have had the same issue as I've had with that changeover. But I'll put this on until I find another US made OE type belt. But Gates is a OE for Toyota in the US, so I don't know what's going on here, but we'll see. Now I've got the alternator loose, and you could see I did take out that belt, and the way I did it was I did use that long extension to help me with this bolt so I could back it out really quick. And again, the pinch bolt on the side of that 12mm, and this one is 14mm. Loosened all three of those bolts up and then backed it out. Now when I start the car, no belt. No whine. So we'll be changing out that alternator, and I'll show you the replacement alternator here in just a second. Okay, so the alternator that we have is a Denso alternator. The Denso number is the 1042210-3620 is the Denso number. The Toyota number is 27060-20270. That is the 100 amp alternator, not the 130. So what I want to replace it with is this Rheem new the Rheem new alternator, and it is the 94131, and yes, it's made in China. It has a two-year unlimited mileage warranty. Had a lot of good reviews online for it. So it is a 100 amp 12 volt, and they claim that it's very quiet, so that was another thing I wanted. So we will swap it out and then see what it's like. I do want to be able to keep the old one and rebuild it, because I think it's only the bearing because of the belt, and so the old one has a lot of life in it. And if this is only a 2-year, it lasts me 2 years, I'll be happy for the price I paid, because it was less than half of the OE one. So anyways, let me get to that. So I will take out the alternator and then continue to take off this bolt and the pinch bolt, and that will be able to pull it off. But also you need to take off this clip here and take this off. This is your positive here under the shield, so that's why you need to be careful with that. All right, so you have no power and you don't want to create any shock or weld your tools when you're trying to take off the positive terminal over here. So we should be able to pull this boot off now, and it's also 10 millimeters, so you see you're bumping up against things. You sure don't want to bump up against the engine when you're doing this. It's really on there. There we go. And it's good to use dielectric grease on everything after you're done. It helps in case you get moisture built in. There we go. Put this back on so I don't lose it. And this has a really good boot on it. Take that off. There we go. And then the rest of it is to get these bolts off, and I'll do that and pull it out. Okay guys, one of the things I had to do was take this clip off of the harness, move it aside, and then it was easier to push the air conditioning hose all the way this way and then kind of work it out. And that's how I got this out. It took a little finagling to get it out, but it got out. And you could see the tensioner is here that one bolt goes through. So that I have to put some penetrant on it, lube it up so it moves more freely. And now to compare this one to the other. As you can see, it's going to be somewhat of a direct fit. The bolts are about the same position. There is an extra tab here for this one. I don't know why, but maybe it was for later years they had something going through this. But otherwise, everything is in the same position, as you can see. Alright, so I'll get this new one in and then go from there, but I will put dielectric grease here and here to make sure that water doesn't get into it. Alright guys, so here's where I'm at. I just put some dielectric grease here and here to prep the alternator for the next step. Then I also put a little anti-seize on both of these bolts and hit this guy here with PB Blaster and put a little anti-seize on him as well. So now I'm ready to put the alternator, the new alternator in and try to get it fastened, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, I opened this hose this way and then got the alternator here. Now this tab has to go this way on this side, and you get that first bolt in there. First put in this bolt and just get a few threads going. Right here. There we go. Get a few threads going just to get it started. Now we put our finger on to find out where the bolt is coming through on here. This takes a little patience here to get that going, and you basically have to see with your fingers, is a nice way to put it. Alright, I got a few threads going. So now I could start using, but we don't want to tighten everything all the way up just yet because we need to get the belt on and get all the electronics on. Okay. So that should be good enough for now. And that one's a 14. Okay. Still make sure I can pivot this up and down. That's good. Then we'll get the electronics on. So first, put this guy back onto the harness so things line up better. There we go. This guy here. We've got that dielectric grease. Okay. And get it torqued down. That's a 10 millimeter. And you want that good and tight. There we go. Cover it up. And then clip this guy on. Okay, got a good click there. and put the boot on to make sure no water gets onto that connector. There we go. All comfy cozy. Now it's time for a belt. Like I said, I'm going to use the old US made 100,000 mile belt for now until I can get a good US made belt. So if you got some suggestions for a belt, please put them in the comments below. But I think I'll use a certain brand that I'll show you once I get it and see if it's any good before I put it on. Alright, we got the belt on. It was best to go around the pulley, the crankshaft pulley, and then go from underneath the air conditioning pulley and then just kind of sneak it on. So now we'll tighten this guy up till we get about a 90-degree turn without it being so loose. Again, that's a 12 millimeter, and we'll just use this air ratchet to do so. And you have to hold it just at the right angle and not go too fast. We're getting there, guys. A little bit more. Alright guys, off camera I took off the posts, positive and negative, cleaned them with Scotch-Brite, then put these pads underneath and I put dielectric grease on the positive, and I could put these in the description below, but now with cars hooked up, you can see the belt has a good twist to it. And now we'll start it, and then you'll see kind of how it sounds with the new alternator. And then we'll go look and see if the alternator light's on, because it should be charging well. Nice and quiet, no slipping sound when it started. And then we'll put it under load. Sorry, the radio was going nuts. There's the AC going. There's no alternator light. So we see the AC compressor is moving. Everything sounds really nice and quiet. Alright guys, if you like this, give us a thumbs up. I'll put all the stuff in the description below that I use, the PB blaster, the anti-seize, the alternator, and those pads for the battery. But this is how your engine should sound. It's a Toyota with almost 200,000 miles on it. Doesn't burn a drop of oil, and it's been really good to me. Only issue I had was the cover was rattling, so I took it off. But it's only a cosmetic cover. Alright guys, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. We have 1,000 subscribers now, and it's awesome. Thanks again to everyone who's been with us since the beginning. God bless.